What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn how to create a brand activation strategy so you can pull your audience out of their everyday routine and give them an experience to remember your brand. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond the visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. It's a free download and the link is in the description. Now, I completed a video recently on what brand activation is. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link in the description below. But in a nutshell, brand activation is all about bringing your brand to life. The markets are full of noise today, and push marketing and push messaging isn't as effective as it once was because we dismiss most of the marketing messages that we see. Brands are having to get a lot more creative today than previously because there is so much noise, because there is a tendency to dismiss that push marketing. So brand activation is all about bringing a brand to life and giving your audience an engaging experience that pulls them out of their everyday routine and gives them something to remember your brand. Now, there are many reasons to create a brand activation campaign and develop a brand activation strategy. And it's not always about the few hundred or few thousand people that turn up or that experience your activation directly. More often than not, it is the amplification of that campaign that has the most effects, that really puts the message out there and shows listeners and watchers and observers from afar what your brand is doing differently from the rest of the market. So there is serious value in activating your brand and disrupting the status quo. The results are definitely there, pulling your audience out of that everyday routine and giving them something fresh, giving them something different so that they'll remember your brand. But how do you go about developing or creating a brand activation campaign? Well, I'm going to give you 5 simple steps that you can follow to do exactly that. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and the notification bell will let you know when I've got new videos just like this. Step number 1, set your goals and your metrics. Now, in order to have any chance of success for your activation campaign, you need to be crystal clear on exactly what you want to achieve. Do you want to drive 20,000 more visitors to your site? Do you want to increase your list by 5,000 people? Or do you want to increase sales for the month or for the quarter by 10%? You need to get crystal clear on exactly what you want to achieve in order to have any chance of success. So get crystal clear on those metrics so you can drive the right action. Step number 2, set your campaign budget. Now, you don't necessarily need a budget of millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a successful activation campaign, but you don't want to go in half-baked either. Now, when it comes to small business, a campaign can run you anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000 and anywhere in between, even above that as well. So you need to really understand what kind of resources you want to throw into your campaign, and here are some of the typical costs that you might consider. Activation space costs, so your location rental, your equipment, and your staffing, your marketing and materials, or your creative services, so your design, your graphics, your photography or videography, or anything along the lines of creative services. Your event management services as well, so your catering, your entertaining, your performances. What kind of event management services are you going to need? Your event production services as well. So what kind of production are you going to have, and are you going to promote that later on? You need to think about the production value of your services here. And then your social media planning and management fees as well. Who's going to manage this campaign from a social media point of view? Is that going to be done internally or externally? And your custom branding elements and apparel as well. Are you going to create anything unique for this activation, or are you going to use existing assets? Step number 3, develop your audience-centered experience. Now, let's get crystal clear on why you're running an activation campaign and who you're running it for as well. Brand activation is all about giving your audience a unique experience. So you need to know this audience intimately well, and with a perspective on your industry, the problems that they have, the solutions that you offer, you need to ask yourself, What are they passionate about, and what are they going to get excited about? When you know the answer to these questions, you have the fundamental ingredients for a successful activation campaign. Step number 4, create a compelling call to action. Now, the experience yourself that you're providing for your audience through your activation is only half the battle. That's not the means to the end. The end is about driving some kind of action, and that's the second half of the battle. Now, you need to think about what your goals are here. If your goals are to drive 20,000 new visitors to your site, then your call to action has to drive those visitors. If your goal is to increase your email list by 5,000 people, then your call to action has to drive that as well. So really think about what you want to achieve and think of a compelling reason that you can give your audience to get them to take that action. And step number 5, amplify your activation. Now, the activation itself should generate some kind of buzz. Now, depending on the budget you have, what kind of resources you're going to throw behind it will determine the amount of buzz that it has. But the buzz itself at the activation is not going to be what achieves the most results. Yes, you will leave those people with a memorable experience they can walk away with, but you really need to be thinking about amplifying that buzz. That's where you're going to get most traction. That's where you're going to get most reach, is by amplifying that buzz. So think about the marketing channels that you use. Where can you market the activation itself? And can you notify your community to really help generate that buzz and really put the word out there and extend that reach? And if you're able to earn media coverage, if you're able to generate earned media coverage through the news media, for example, and get your activation as a news story in and of itself, then you can really amplify the effects of your campaign. You know, brand activation is becoming increasingly important because traditional marketing methods are not as effective as they used to be. And brands are looking for more and more reason to give their audience to turn towards their brand, to really break that status quo and break the mundane routine of their audience so that they can walk away with something memorable and then amplify that memorable experience across all their channels. But the key to this strategy is knowing exactly who your audience is. You don't necessarily need a big budget, but you do need bags of creativity. Know who your audience is, know what they want, know what they're passionate about, and know what makes them tick, know what makes them excited. If you bring all of those things together within your activation campaign, you might just create a viral news story in and of itself. If you want to dive deeper into what brand experience is and how you can use it to grow your reputation, then this video will help you out. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.